Peace. Shout out to everybody out there. It's your boy Pro Black Politics. Welcome to the CCN, man. Conscious Community Network, where we keep it pro black. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you're into this kind of content. We gonna touch on this story that was circulating a few days ago from Newsmax 2. The point of this stream is just to touch on how mainstream, the perception of it, how mainstream crypto's getting, and how it's changing. Because it used to, the narrative that they was pushing a long time ago was only the criminals use it and it's illegal. It's bad. Now we getting a completely different story, right? So I'm gonna play this video. I think I got like 2 or 3 more short slides I want to show. So check this out.
Of the total national debt, $348 would have purchased 1.7% of the total supply of Bitcoin at the time, and today would wipe national debt. $348 would have purchased 1.7% of the total supply of Bitcoin at the time, and today would wipe our balance sheet clean. Imagine they've done that for Social Security too. Because crypto is worth what people think it's worth, simply because people are buying it, and like a Prada bag that costs $50 to make and sells for $5,000, supply and demand. Could the government theoretically, take 1/5 of our annual tax revenue, which is about $1 trillion, and put it into an emerging cryptocurrency like, XRP, currently trading around $2.50? That would explode the value of that coin. Right now, the total market cap of XRP is $144 billion in total circulation. This would multiply its value by a factor of 8, essentially returning the government $8 trillion overnight. Want to get aggressive, they can dump it, crash the market, buy it right back, do it all over again. Pay off the national debt by Saturday. You see, the government can't control crypto like it controls banks and the bogus Federal Reserve printing money out of thin air. Ronald Reagan famously said, that the government operates very simply. If it moves, regulate it. If it stops moving, subsidize it. If you can't do either, ban it. He didn't know about blockchain. Reagan didn't know about the 4th option. Become what you seek to control. The government's only option to actually have any seat at the table in any type of control over crypto is to participate in it. If you own it, that's great for you. It's going to be worth a ton. After all, we can just print money, buy crypto with it. That's why crypto's here to stay. It's the answer to make sure that even if we do lose a tooth on the zipper again, it doesn't matter. But more importantly, the value of that seamless zipper could be the trick to wipe out the country's national debt. Print money, devalue the dollar, explode crypto investments, sell it, wipe out the national debt, replenish the national gold reserves, fund Social Security, rapid deflation, and reset the system to before the Federal Reserve ever left the gold standard.
Okay, right. So this is a mainstream news outlet, and I doubt very seriously that it's people in the White House watching this, taking advice from this random news guy. But if it's made it to the mainstream media in this way, then the what would you call them, the economist in the United States, they probably already thought about this once or twice, you know what I mean, to see how they can use it to their advantage. And just check this clip out. Okay, this is a clip of President Trump about, I don't know, this was when he first won the election. This might even have been before he took office. But this was like almost a year ago, I want to say. Check this clip out.
They think it's good. They think it's good. Who knows? Maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand them a little crypto check, right? We'll hand them a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you...
They think it's good. hand him a little crypto check, right? We'll hand him a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you want it to be more prominent in America? How will that work?
Oh, it's going to work easily. It's already prominent. It's moving along. It's very loosely regulated. That's one of the reasons it's moving along. But it is a different form of a currency, and it's going to end up benefiting the country. But if we shut it down, like, Biden's trying to shut it down, Biden doesn't have the intellect to shut it down. Can you imagine this guy's telling you to shut something down like that? He has.
You go back into, taking shots at old President Joe Biden. So this was before he took office, right? So the idea that the United States of America is going to use cryptocurrency in some way, be the Bitcoin, XRP, what's another one they've been floating around, HBAR, all these different, it's at least 5, 6 of them that's like huge. They've mentioned them before, but again, it's the idea that the United States is going to use cryptocurrency to pay off debt. It's been floating around for a while now, right? Now it's becoming the national media outlets just picking it up, and they talking about it freely, right? This is another clip. This is Strive CEO. We'll take a look at that company here shortly. But this is a clip from this guy. Check out what he has to say.
It actually was the reason I became a Bitcoiner in the first place. I was managing a large portfolio of U.S. Treasuries. I was probably one of the largest buyers of U.S. Treasuries in the United States. And talking directly to the Fed, to the Treasury, it gave me conviction as a once Bitcoin skeptic that Bitcoin was the only answer to the debt crisis and the fiat currency debasement. And the fiat currency debasement as an investment opportunity is kind of becoming popular in Wall Street circles now. But for Bitcoiners, this was a core part of the thesis, and obviously the other being true financial freedom and an opt-out from a system. But the debasement trade, Bitcoin's the only answer. And I think that a lot of Bitcoiners, including myself and Strive, have conviction that the U.S. government's never going to stop printing money. The debt crisis is a bipartisan issue. And, as an American, I'd love to see it be solved, but I am not optimistic on it being solved. And I think that only provides more and more tailwinds for Bitcoin and people that invest in Bitcoin.
Okay, so this is really quick. Just wanted to check real quick. Strive is an asset management firm, so they handle a lot of big money for a lot of people. So he's a heavy investor, right? So he knows a lot about where the money going. Okay. One more, and then I'm gonna show a little bit of news about what Ripple got going on. That's the XRP company. This is another one. I think I forgot her name. She's a governor or senator or something. She's been a big proponent of Bitcoin for a long time, but listen to what she has to say.
Bitcoin would make sense as part of our strategic reserves is that we recognize other laws. So why Bitcoin would make sense as part of our strategic reserves is that we recognize other long-term stores of value and put them in strategic reserve. We have a gold strategic reserve. We have an oil strategic reserve. I think it is fitting that Bitcoin, now that is really digital gold, be included among our reserve assets. So I'm proposing in the Bitcoin Act that we purchase roughly 200,000 Bitcoin a year just by converting money we already have into Bitcoin and hold them for 20 years. If we did that with, say, 5% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist, which is roughly 1 million Bitcoin, we could cut our debt in half in 20 years. And in the meantime, we would have an asset that's growing in value while our own dollar is decreasing in value, and thereby we could shore up the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. What that does is help us protect ourselves against inflation and protect the U.S. dollar on the world stage.
They've been floating it. They talking about it. President Trump announced a strategic Bitcoin reserve, I don't know, a few months ago. But they had talked about it. I don't know if they actually implemented nothing to get the ball rolling on that, but he mentioned it, which is probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen. I think they probably just waiting for this Clarity Act bill to go through. And one more clip I think I saw. Right, this just one more clip. I promise, the last one.
Well, I'm looking forward to Congress acting on this. I think it's important that we have a market structure bill, and we are actually helping. We were helping with the House, and now we're helping with the Senate as far as technical assistance on questions of securities law and that sort of thing, and gaps that we see that need to be filled. So we're going to continue doing that and provide all sorts of assistance. We're also part of the President's Working Group on Financial Markets that came out with a report here about a month or so ago, and so we're really stand behind that report, and so we want to see this get over the finish line, because the Genius Act, which was enacted by Congress and the President back about a month ago or so, I think was a huge step forward that applied to stable coins, and that's the first time that the United States government and the United States as in statutory form, has recognized a digital asset like stablecoins. So I think that was great. And now we need to focus on the market structure aspect so that there is certainty in the marketplace and direction to the SEC and the CFTC to work together. I anticipate joint rulemaking, and so that way we can try to future-proof this sort of these rules and the relationships from some rogue regulator or something in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just the current status of them passing regulation. Again, he spoke on the Genius Act. Which was huge for stable coins, but now they pushing that Clarity Act through, and that's gonna be a whole nother situation, right? One more thing I'm gonna touch on, because XRP has been huge in the news. Everybody talking about XRP. If you don't know what XRP is, just touch on that real quick. I know I said one more video, but I found another one, and they explained it better than me, right? So it's gonna be this video, and we're gonna talk about the Ripple and the banking license, and make it all go back to the original clip, right?
Securitize is partnering with Ripple. Regulated yield-bearing assets move with stablecoin-like speed and flexibility.
Look, in traditional markets, I have very high quality collateral, but the problem is that collateral, which is very high quality, it moves very slowly. Because when I want to post it as collateral or move it, or when I want to lend against it during the weekend, etc., those options are not available because markets move at the speed they move, and sometimes they are closed, etc. I said,
jump in real quick. This is rich people shit. Okay, this rich people shit. Now, what that means is when he say he got high quality collateral, right? Basically, he's rich. And he, like, on paper, he got $100, $200, $300 million, right? And he can prove it. Maybe stock options, whatever he got, he can prove it, and the banks know it, right? But what he's saying is the traditional banking system, even though he got $100 million, $200 million, it takes him a long time to move his money because it has to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different banks, right? So having all that money, it still takes him a long time to access the shit. It's slow. So when he talk about collateral, that's what he's talking about. A lot of rich people, a lot of Fortune 500 companies, like they have the same issue, especially when you send money from one country to another. You got it. There's conversion rates. It's a bunch of crazy shit, which is why the crypto stable coin makes it easier because it's on a blockchain. Everybody has access to it. You can go around the banks. So just point that out.
In crypto, people tend to use, either crypto assets or stable coins to post as collateral, which move very fast, right? So I think that, tokenized treasuries like BIDL or VBIL, they kind of merge the best of both worlds, right? They give you the same high quality, assets that you have on TradFi as collateral, but they move at the speed of stable coins. But now, of course, if they get liquidated, they need to be moved back into like digital dollars, right? Tokenized dollars. This is why integrating tokenized treasury funds like BIDL and VBIL with stable coins like RLUSD is very critical for the whole thing to work properly.
I didn't know my mic wasn't on. RLUSD is Ripple's stablecoin. Excuse me. Right. Uh-oh. Okay. Now Ripple, one of these things they talking about with the stablecoin and all the liquidity and thing, it's important because Ripple. Uh-oh. Let me move this over a little bit. No, I'll do it. Wait a minute. We're gonna keep it quick. All right. Just gonna throw everything off. Ripple just apply. Well, they ain't say they just do it. They apply for a banking license, right? This makes them obviously a competitor to the banks. The difference is they don't have a lot of businesses, and it's like 90% of what they got going on is all on the internet. So, and with I think they was already saying like RLUSD, the Ripple stablecoin, you getting 7, 8, 9% interest on that. The regular banks can't compete. They won't be able to compete, right? They got the legislation that they waiting on, the Clarity Act, which is gonna open the door a whole lot more for institutional investments. Then you got the mainstream media pushing this. The U.S. government should buy $1 trillion worth of XRP, right? So it's a lot circulating with, well, for one, the government's participation in it, not passing the legislation, but just investment altogether. It's not to mention, the Wyoming and their stable coin, just a reserve, having a strategic cryptocurrency reserve is huge. So all this is just, it is shaping up to be something that you kind of want to be a part of, right? You got the government going all in. Not ain't so all in, but they going in on it, right? Mainstream media picking it up. All of the large corporations in everything but the banking system. There's a few banks that's embracing it to stick around, but a lot of them, because they the middleman and it's cutting them out, right? Everybody's going to crypto. You got access to the XRP right now. Why wouldn't you like, and this, I'm not saying, I don't do the financial advice. This is, if you see the United States of America going, right? Billionaire, trillionaire adoption. They got Ripple. They're doing deals with countries, Japan, Singapore. It's a European country that just posted some stuff on X, right? Here, great meeting with Ripple as they advance towards securing their license to operate in Luxembourg. We discussed their ambitions in Europe and Luxembourg, and I reaffirmed our commitment to digital innovation. They everywhere, man. This video way longer than I wanted it to be, but I kept finding new clips, so fuck it, right? Excuse me. It's worth looking into. It's my main thing. I'm gonna leave it right there. It's your boy, man, Pro Black. Smash that button if you made it this far. You a motherfucking gangster. Yeah. I do this for my people, man. We out of here.